We are back. We are back. And what are we talking about? We're talking about the customer today. And the customer, I hate to say it, knowing their spot. Let's get into it. Good day, good day, good day. It is Gwendolyn G.R. Houston Jack. Yes, career coach, digital marketer, all things awesome. Here at HouJack Digital Marketing Solutions, you are tuning into HouJack DMS Live Learning, and we are streaming to Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. And if you're on YouTube, I highly suggest that you like, share, and subscribe, but that's just me because. So let's get into today's topic, because when we last spoke in December, yes, I know I am now dating this video. When we last spoke, we were discussing customer service versus accommodations and how those two things are not the same. They are not the same. And quite often, as customers, we mix up when someone is going outside of their standard operating procedures and making an accommodation. We confuse that with, that's just great customer service. But we're going to go a little bit deeper. We want to talk today about the customer's role, because there is a role, there is a job that the customer has. Now, I am speaking from the place of abnormal consumer. I'm going to talk from that space. I'll get into that a little bit more. But today I want to cover a couple of things so we're on the same page. We want to talk about the customer's job, right? Just a quick review of what the customer's role is in a selling or service relationship. We want to discuss what happens when customers don't know their role, when they don't know their spot. And I hate to say it like that, but that's the truth. We all play a role here. And then later, to wrap it all up, let's talk about how do we get a better relationship for everyone? What steps can we take to make this better for all parties involved? So when I mentioned I am not the typical consumer. I'm not that person, right? 25 years plus in retail. We have done all the things. And so you just don't approach the relationship between customer and service provider the exact same way. I do, however, know my role. So I have all the skills to dismantle and demo a closet beyond, I should say, stopping at electric. Like, I don't do that, but I can do all the other stuff. Like, that's not a problem. Question is, do I feel like doing it? So when I decided to have our master closet done some years ago, I made sure that I went with the installation service, because I had no desire to be in there taking out pre-installed shelving and all the other, like, it's a job. I want to be on my sofa, having my cocktail, watching Die Hard. And so my colleague said, hey, did you watch the guy as he was doing stuff? No, why would I do that? That's why I hired him. That's the whole point. When you were looking for a service, you want someone to come in to do the job that you don't want to do. Not that you can't do it, but you don't have the time for it. You don't have the patience for it. You don't have the skill set for it, whatever it is. That's why you bring in that professional. So why would I, although having the skill, now come in and supervise this guy or this woman? Why would I do that? It's no waste of my time, right? So let's start with what the customer's job is. What is the customer's job? Okay, so a couple of things. Now we're talking high level here, right? Just high level. But there is a role that we play. So when I go into a store, grocery store, craft store, clothing store, auto part, what like whatever. I am coming in knowing my role. I am open to being serviced. That is step number one. Open to being serviced. Now, I will tell you this. There are very few times at this point in my life that I go out just to browse. That's why we have the internet. But sometimes I gotta put my hands on something. And in those few moments, I'm like, no, I really am just looking. I'm just clarifying some information. I'm not trying to, because I don't want somebody who works on a commission or otherwise to be bothered with me when I know I am not coming here to buy. I don't want to waste their time. I get it. So I go into a store when I am ready, open to being serviced. I know that sounds weird, but it's fake. For people who want to do self-service, I get that. I'm gonna talk about that a little bit. But be open to being serviced. Because hey, at some point, you're gonna need a salesperson or someone to get you something that you can't reach. So be open to that. I also look at as the customer, although you don't have to do it, it would be kind if you were available to share, when asked, valid and specific feedback. And what do I mean by that? Saying the food is great, honestly, it's not much. Saying that Sally was awesome, honestly, it's not much. What exactly did Sally do that was awesome? Why exactly was this steak, this potato, this keto salad, why was it amazing? What people don't have a really good grasp on is how to give specific feedback. What's working great? What could be better? We tend to go with something that is subjective or, no offense, empty. It was awesome. They were great. It's a nice place. It's not very helpful. Not for the business. Not for the business. When people send out their link to say, give us a review, I know people who like the business want to give them 5 stars. I've already discussed in another video why just giving a 5-star is really not great for the business. I'm not going to go there again. But a business who is about their business wants valid, specific feedback. Not, I didn't like her attitude because, she felt like she was talking about your feelings. No offense. Those are just your feelings. I'm not mistaken. I believe it's Adam Smith who says facts are not feelings and feelings are not facts. So when you're giving feedback to a business, really think about what you're saying to that business and just don't go on like how you felt about something. Lastly, and this goes back to number 1, follow the leader. Right? In certain dances, I'd say mostly classical dances and things, there is a leader and there's a person who follows. When you are coming in as the customer, ideally, you should be led through whatever the process is. Shouldn't have to go in there and pick up the slack. Now I'm going to get to that next point because a lot of us feel as if we need to pick up the slack and do all the things. So that goes here. When customers don't know their role, when you don't know your spot. And I'm going to say that. I will tell you, I only get out of my spot when the person who should be the provider is not providing. That's the only time. When I feel that my time is being wasted, or when I recognize that you about that BS, I will quickly come out of my spot and put you on notice. Now, 2 things will happen. Either the person has an ego and is prideful and will jump in and be like, I know that. I'm just saying, because I've had that. Or they will take the other route and say, you know what? I honestly don't know. Let me get somebody else. I don't care which one you do, but do one of the 2. Either take the role as the lead or get somebody who does know because you don't know. That's all I'm asking for. I don't think it's a hard thing. I think it's legit because I am in my role. So why would people who are customers go into a place and not know their role? I have. Two ideas. One, they half-ass at their own job. I said that. And here's my example. There was a young lady on our recent trip. We stopped at Mickey D's to get a lunch. I mean, we're on the road, so you can't really go wrong with getting like a thing of fries and a cheeseburger. Really can't. But they have that self-ordering kiosk now, right? This place is empty. 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 So my husband goes up to the register. There's a lady there. She literally walks away. Doesn't acknowledge him. Doesn't say, oh, I'm so sorry, but would you please use the kiosk? She just walks away. So he uses this kiosk, which proceeds to not operate as it's supposed to. Didn't give him a number. Didn't tell him what the next steps were. Pretty much took the money and went away. And so now he's agitated. And I'm also agitated. So what does she have to do? Sir, what's your number? He's like, I don't have a number. It didn't give me a number. It didn't give anything. So she then has to go over his order to verify that he ordered what. It could have been so simple. Now, I get it. I get that there are times where, yeah, go to self-checking kiosk and do your thing. But if there's no one here, would it kill you? Would it kill you to simply take the order and be done? I mean, you got to talk to him anyway, right? But I have found that people who don't do their job, who have a poor work ethic at their place of employment, when they go out in the fields as consumer, they keep that going because they're like, well, I don't do my job where I am, so I'm sure this person's going to half-ass on their job too. Yeah. You are reflecting what you do on somebody else. The same goes for the opposite. When you have the person who is so perfect, but they don't trust anybody. They don't trust their colleagues to do it right. They don't trust themselves to do it right. They trust no one to do it right because only they can do it right. There's no trust. So they hire a professional, but want to proceed to tell this professional how to do their job. Now, I get that you don't trust your colleagues. That's you. And you may have some, I don't know, self-doubts, whatever. But again, that is you. That is not. It should not be a reflection of the person that you've hired. If you want to lead somebody, tell them what to do, then there is no need to hire a professional. That's a waste of everybody's time. It's a waste. You can just do it yourself. Or find I don't know, day labor, an intern, a student, something. But you don't hire a professional and then get in the mix. That's ridiculous. That's a waste of time. That's a waste. At the end of the day, you get chaos when people don't know their role. Because lastly, there is the know-it-all. And we know that's just straight ego. People who just, they know everything. They've done everything. I'm a podiatrist, so I can do this. And I sell Tupperware. And I used to work here years ago. And okay, well, years ago is not today. And things do change. And just because you work on feet doesn't mean you know how to change this tire. I don't know. But those two things don't go together. Right? There's this lack of respect for people and what they do. Again, end of the day, it just leads to chaos. It just leads to chaos. So when customers don't know their role, you get chaos. So the question is, what do we do to make this better for everybody, right? What are the steps? What are the steps for a better relationship between customer and service provider? Number one, customers, do your due diligence. I think we all know. And no, I'm not going to think. I'm going to go ahead and put it out there. I'm going to stand on this because I've had it a number of times. A lot of us take things for granted, like contracts. And I'm going to blame our current digital environment for that, because when we download apps and things, there's all these words we have to read, and we don't want to read all those words. So we scroll right to the bottom, we say accept, and we keep on keeping on. We feel as if we don't have to read what we just agreed to. And we have that same mindset when it comes to a paper or electronic contract that's placed in front of us. We don't read every single line. We just initial. You have signed your whole life away, your babies, all the things. And it's only when things go wrong, expectations are not met, that we come around with I didn't see that. No one told me about it. How come no one told me about it? Do your due diligence. Role of customer is to do your due diligence. Read the contract frontwards and backwards and sideways and frontways, and read your contract. And then ask questions. Ask questions till the cow comes home. Ask again. If you don't understand, ask one more time. Ask until it makes sense to you. That's your job. People talk about being informed because they went on the internet and read some stuff. I appreciate that. What I appreciate more is you asking me questions about what it is you're about to sign and what the process is when you work with XYZ. Because we're not one size fits all. So let me go number 2 here. When people talk about sharing their experience, well, the last time I did this, so-and-so gave me this, and the last time I was here, this, well, that was the last time. That's not today. And so-and-so's plumbing service is not like the XYZ plumbing service. Those are 2 different companies. They don't have the same SOPs. They don't have the same return policy, cancellation policy, but they don't have the same anything beyond, fixing toilets and stuff. Those are not the same people. So when you share your experience, okay, great. You shared it. That has nothing to do with the person in front of you. Nothing to do. Now, I'm a photographer as well, right? So people will often tell me, well, the last time I did this, I got all the photos. Okay, that's great. It's nothing to do with me. It doesn't change how I run my business. It doesn't. And if that's the case, we should probably go back to that person to get the same deal, if they even still offer that deal. I mean, you guys have seen the price of things go up. Very few things stay the same. I think that Costco hot dog is still $2.50. I think it is. Or is it the pizza? Maybe it's the pizza and the hot dog. I know their prices have not changed. And that's a Costco thing. They can do that, right? But keep that in mind. My last point here, as I get hung up on the hot dogs here at Costco, is be honest. Be honest with yourself. Be honest with the service provider you have selected. All right? And people say, yeah, I got it. Okay. That doesn't help you if you really don't understand. Or it doesn't help you if you really don't have it. This is your time to do your job and ask all the questions. Don't care how many you have to ask. Ask all the questions. You're giving somebody your money, your time, whatever it is. You're hiring them to capture your child's birthday party or to put in a garage door, whatever it is. Remodel a kitchen. Ask all the questions. Do you have insurance? Who are you insured with? How much does it cover? How many times have you done this? Do you have some previous pictures? Do you ask all the questions? That's your right. Do your part. Be thorough. And if that agitates the person you're talking to, well, that ain't the person for you. Go find somebody else. That's fine. But be honest. If it's beyond what you can pay for, say that too. If they're like, hey, to do the kitchen that you want to do, you're looking at $20,000. You're like, oh, wow, $20,000. We only plan for 12. Be prepared to either figure out how to get that $20,000 or go find somebody else or wait. But be honest with yourself and the person you're working with. It just reduces chaos. When people say, oh, I don't really have a date in mind. And then you say, oh, I need it like next week. So you had a date in mind. Right? What I have found in my experience is that we have a problem with communicating. Like I said, we don't like talking about money. Some of us feel a little funny talking about money. I'm gonna tell you right now, we're gonna talk about the money. Not a problem here. When I give my prices, I just give my prices. There are no ums or ahs. This is the price. Either you can do it or you can't. It's very simple. When I go looking for stuff, I'm very aware of what I can do and what I may have access to. quick story before I wrap this up. And this is that whole point of like being honest. Turning 50 next year, Lord bless if I can make it. Planning for an amazing cruise. I decided that I want to go big dog. I'm going to price out a suite. The suite said we need $11,000 for this. And I was like, holy cannoli. 11,000. Okay. Wow. Yeah. Now in that moment, I immediately went to, okay, that's a no. 35% no, 25. Wow, I didn't anticipate 11,000 for a suite. Didn't see it coming. And that's before I do anything extra on this cruise. But today I thought, how can I make this 11,000 work? Be honest with yourself. Okay? That's all we're saying. If you decide to go the gusto to get it, that's your choice. Me, as much as I would like to do some things, I'm kind of like, I'm still stuck on 11. Yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, I got time to figure it out, but I'm fully aware that when I went in to budget this, 11 was not my number. I was thinking more like about 5, maybe, but 11? Like I said, we got to be honest with ourselves. We shall figure out what happens there. So let's wrap this up really quick. We are talking about the role of the customer's job, right? And we just want to say thank you to everybody who has tuned in this quick afternoon for this conversation. Our very next conversation will be about the service provider. Oh yeah, we're going to flip it. We're going to talk about the business owner. And yeah, we have some things to talk about. We have some things. Yes, we do. But until then, because each of us who are business owners, we're also customers, right? We're also customers. And it would be great if we were like the best customers, right? Wouldn't that be awesome? Yeah. I'm so hopeful. God bless me. I'm so hopeful. So yes, I want to thank everybody for watching this afternoon. Again, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. We absolutely have a good time here. We have a lot of things planned for the coming year on HouJack DMS Life Learning. We have some workshops planned. So excited about that. Some workshops planned, some fun challenges, and we're talking about accountability because we want to start off. I'm going to go ahead and date it this new year on the right foot. On the right foot. All right. So let us close it out because we are done. Another quick one. Enjoy your day.